This is the story of a fisherman named Ethan, who, like every day, takes his small boat and goes out to catch fish in the sea. But something different happens that day. Suddenly, there is a thick fog all around and nothing is visible in the distance. Ethan gets lost and he sees a deserted boat wandering here and there. Curiously, he ties his boat to that boat and decides to go inside and see. As soon as he goes inside the boat, he wakes up. The whole boat was empty. No one, no sound, just a mysterious silence. When Ethan went into that mysterious boat, everything seemed normal. The food was fresh, the clothes were kept from the laundry, and there were signs of human presence everywhere. But there was no one there. He tries to start the boat, but the engine does not work. Ethan is surprised to see such a large boat alone in the sea. He tries to look around with the binoculars. Maybe someone is nearby, but the thick fog had covered everything. Disappointed, he returns to the control room and turns on the radio, with the intention of sending a signal to help. Ethan sends a message on the radio. This boat is stuck in the sea. If anyone is listening, answer. After sending the message, he thought that he should return by his small boat. But when he came out, his boat was not there, although he had tied it well. He was surprised and excited when he saw that the fog had suddenly cleared all around, and the sky was open. Now it was afternoon. Ethan did not understand what was going on. He did not see any other way to return. He came back on the same empty ship, and started looking for a way with the help of the map. Ethan now tries to understand where he is and how he can return home. The problem was that the engine of that mysterious ship was broken. If he had to survive, he had to fix the engine at any cost. He looks for a toolbox in the entire ship, and after a lot of hard work, he fixes the engine. This was a big relief for him. Now the ship had started and he was slowly understanding the direction. But the danger was not over. Ethan goes to the control room and contacts the radio again. But this time, too, no answer comes. Everything was still submerged in mystery. Then Ethan comes up, and he suddenly has to go to the toilet. There was no one around, so he thinks that he will do it in the sea. As soon as he goes to the shore, suddenly someone pushes him from behind. He falls straight into the water. The situation was very dangerous, but he grabbed the reel and somehow saved himself from drowning. The air and water pressure was so high that it was difficult to get back to the ship. But he did not give up. He gathered his courage and slowly pulled himself up on the ship with the help of the reel. In the meantime, his work could not be completed. So he started going to the toilet again. As soon as he reached the bottom, suddenly someone closed the door tightly. Ethan first thought it was the effect of the wind and did not pay attention. But when he tried to get out, he saw that the door was closed from inside. Now he was surprised. He tried every way to open the door. He even tried to take a coin out of his pocket and put it in the lock and open it. But everything went wrong. Now he felt that he was not alone on this ship. There is someone who is bothering him, who is not visible but is always present. He felt as if someone was playing with him. He shouted loudly, "Please, whoever you are, open the door. I am not a thief. I have just come to see." But no answer came. Now he understood that the hope of help is useless. He went to the cabin, and what he saw inside, his soul trembled with it. There were bloodstains. It was a scary atmosphere, but he ignored the fear and tried to open the door with a pickaxe. But the lock did not open yet. Then the whole ship began to shake violently, as if something big was going to happen. Ethan was very scared. Then he saw a window above him. He somehow got out of that window and looked around. A huge cargo ship was seen coming towards him from a distance. Its direction was straight towards the same ship. Ethan understood that if that ship collided, everything would be over. Now he had to save his life in any case. He thought of giving a signal, but he had nothing. He immediately took off his shirt and began to wave it violently, so that someone could see the cargo ship. But unfortunately, after so much effort, no one's eyes fell on him. Now Ethan had to save his life in any case. If his ship kept moving forward, then the cargo ship could have collided with the ship and everything could be over. Then he looked at the window, hanged himself, and fell on a rope. He immediately had an idea. If he used this rope, he might be able to stop the ship. He quickly tied the rope and threw it out so that the ship's speed would stop. But the situation got worse. The rope got stuck in the fan of the engine, and while pulling, it came inside the bathroom and got stuck in his throat. He started suffocating. He reached the verge of death. He showed courage and freed himself from a tool. His neck was completely red. He was almost dead, but he was able to save himself in the last moment. The rope was stuck in the engine, which stopped the ship's speed. But it wasn't enough. The heavy cargo ship still collided with it. His ship shook badly from the violent collision, and Ethan fell to the ground and fainted. He had a deep head injury. After a while, when he regained consciousness, he saw that the bathroom was filled with water. But the most surprising thing was that it was not the salty water of the sea, but it was absolutely clean and sweet water, as if someone was deliberately trying to scare him. He once again broke down and begged, "Whoever you are, please let me go." But still no answer came. Now he was hungry, thirsty, and very weak. Somehow he drank water from the shower in the bathroom, but soon he felt that the water was over. Then, when he started drinking water from the sink, he was surprised. Now the water was salty. He immediately realized that there was a hole in the ship and the seawater was coming in. This ship will not last long now. He panicked and tried to open the door, but it seems that someone has locked it from the outside. It was nighttime, and from above it was seen that some invisible, perhaps evil power was controlling this ship. The water was rising rapidly and Ethan fell asleep tired. At night, a terrible storm came into the sea which broke the ship badly, and Ethan was also seriously injured. In the morning, when his eyes opened, the water had reached his head. Only the face was outside. Now he felt that only a few moments were left. Then suddenly he heard a light click from somewhere as if something had opened. As soon as Ethan turned the handle, the door opened with a loud sound. The pressure of the water was so high that the door broke and fell down. And in the same way, he managed to get out. As soon as he got out, he went straight to the roof of the ship so that he could breathe fresh air, because the oxygen below was almost over. Now he was convinced that some invisible force wanted to trouble him in every way. He was physically and mentally broken, and the water was constantly flowing down. He understood that now the ship can sink at any time. Ethan had decided that he would not stay on this ship anymore. Then he got an idea. He took out airbags from the ship and used the broken bathroom door to make a small raft. He tied everything tightly so that the raft could stand. But to run the raft, he needed some more necessary things. He collected food, water, and necessary tools from the ship and prepared himself completely. Then, without looking back, he got off the ship and got on the raft and slowly started moving forward in the sea. He was on the raft and the same big ship was still standing in front of him. Many hours passed, but he could not go too far and neither did the ship sink, which he thought would sink in 5 to 10 minutes. He was still in the same condition. Then he got an idea. If this ship has not sunk yet, then why not repair its raft? If this happens, then he can travel comfortably on this strong ship. Thinking this, he went back to the ship. First, he repaired the raft, then prepared a pump with a pipe and tools so that the water could be taken out. With the help of the pump he had made, the seawater filled in the boat slowly came out. After repairing the raft and removing the water, he also repaired the rest of the ship. He also repaired from the outside so that there would be no more problems in the journey ahead. After the work was over, he again tried to ask for help from the radio. But this time, too, there was no answer. Disappointed, he went back and took out the map and once again began to understand the way. He tried to move the ship forward, but as soon as he started the engine, the ship did not move at all, as if he was being cheated again. The ship was very stable, as if it had become a root in the water, and this thought was breaking him from within. He was completely tired. His hopes were fading. Then he saw another ship coming from a distance. Now he had only one way to get to that ship from his small raft. He immediately got on the raft and quickly moved towards the ship. But then the ship suddenly began to move and moved towards Ethan quickly, as if someone had deliberately sent it towards him. Ethan increased his speed, but that huge ship got even faster. And just before the ship collided with him, Ethan made his last attempt and decided to jump from his boat and swim to the other ship which seemed to be going away. But by the time he reached there, the ship had disappeared. Then he realized that there was some evil power on this mysterious ship that was not letting him go anywhere. He had decided that even if he lost his life, he would not return to this ship. But by the evening, the cold began to increase as he swam. Dolphins were swimming below, but the temperature of the water had dropped a lot. Unable to bear the cold, he returned to the same ship out of helplessness. He was so tired and sick that he could not think of anything. He just quietly took a blanket and slept in the room. When he woke up in the morning, he again decided to leave the ship. But now he got another shock. The door of the room was closed. He panicked and slowly began to break mentally. He could not understand why all this was happening. Then he saw a small cabin. As soon as he opened it, he saw a way up, a ventilation from which he could get out. He entered the cabin, which was a narrow storage area. Every time he tried to climb up from the storage area, he slipped and fell down. He was injured many times, but he did not give up. He fell down again, and finally he reached up again and tried to open the window of the vent. But he did not get out of it. It seemed as if it had been deliberately sealed. Now the oxygen there was also running out quickly. It was getting difficult to breathe. The door below was also closed. He could not go back to the room. He felt that this was his last chance. But then he heard the same mysterious sound of a click again. As soon as the window of the cabin opened with the sound of a click, Ethan came out without wasting time. The fresh air gave him some relief. He came out and saw that the ship was heading towards a small island. Seeing this, he was hopeful that now he would be free from this scary ship forever. As soon as the ship reached the shore, he immediately got off. He felt that there is someone on this island who is responsible for all this. In anger, he picked up a stick and started looking for the island. But soon he was surprised that there was no sign of a human being on the entire island. Now Ethan was again filled with anger and fear. As soon as he came out of the island, he saw a new sight in front of his eyes. The same mysterious ship that had brought him here was now moving forward in the calm sea as if in search of another prey. Seeing this, Ethan was completely convinced that this ship and this island were under some evil power. He had to get out of here at any cost. His life was still left. He searched and reached the highest peak of the island, and from there he saw another island far away. But it was so far away that he could not see what was happening there. As soon as Ethan kept moving on the island, he slowly came back. But when he reached there, his eyes were wide open. This was the same place from where his journey had begun. Everything was the same. His old ship was trapped right there, and the same people as if nothing had changed. The whole atmosphere was the same as if nothing had happened. Ethan was seeing everything at once. He could not believe that all this seemed like a bad dream. The experience was actually over with him. But now the question arose, how did his ship get there again? And what was the truth of this island? When Ethan reached behind the island, he was surprised. The same place, the same ship, the same people as if nothing had changed. He could not believe that all this was real or a bad dream. But what he experienced was the truth.